Hi, I'm Tom Rebecki, and I'm a guitar maker of some 39 years here in America. I've had the good fortune of having a blessed career and had my instruments honored by exhibitions and museums, and I've had a really wonderful time doing this. And I'm here today to talk about a little bit more serious subject from the set of Guitar Planet. This is taking a minute out from what we normally do following the antics of my crew and the lives of guitar makers to talk about something that's really important in the lives of artists, craftsmen, and guitar makers today. I have just returned from a trip to Washington, D.C. working with the National Association of Musical Merchants. That's NAM, our professional trade organization. Some 9,000 member companies and a very, very big organization, represents all musical products. And today I'm here to advocate for the passage of a new bill, which is on the House floor. It's called the H.R. 3210. This is a bill that was introduced by Congressman Cooper of Tennessee and Marsha Blackburn. It's called the Cooper-Blackburn Amendment, also called the Cooper-Blackburn Relief Act. And what this does is it makes some environmental legislation passed in 2008, the Lacey Act, as part of an omnibus farm bill. It helps to fix the unintended consequences of that particular act. In the fervor to protect our environment and our illegal logging, this bill was passed with great intentions, but there have been unintended consequences. And our position is that we support the Lacey Amendment in 2008, but we would like to fix some things legislatively that are creating issues for guitar makers and manufacturers and craftspeople in America. And I would like to urge you to contact your congressmen and your senators. A phone call to a congressman or a senator is actually a very effective tool with all of this. And very quickly, what the Lacey Amendment, the new Blackburn-Cooper Amendment will do, if we can pass this, is it'll make this act much more effective environmentally, because it'll allow people to actually comply with this act. Right now in America, it is very difficult to actually fulfill your requirements with this act because there's no central information to draw from. This bill creates a database of international law so that both Fish and Wildlife, APHIS, and us can all draw from the same well of information, knowing what is legal and what isn't legal. It also grandfathers in materials that we have owned since, for me, for example, I have been buying materials since I was in my 20s. From all, as far as I know, legal sources of hardwood. And this bill, the way that Lacey is written for 2008, it actually makes these materials illegal, or if they were questionably harvested, it makes them illegal retroactively. What Lacey Amendment 2011 will do, the Cooper-Blackburn bill, is to grandfather in materials cut before May 22nd, 2008, and also guitars before 2008, allowing trade to occur with those materials that have already been cut and are on the ground. It will also lessen the first-time penalties for offenders of this law by non-compliance or by mistakes, for unintended, non-compliance. It'll reduce the first-time penalties substantially, and this is very important. And the last and most important aspect is called the innocent owner part of this bill. What that does is it stops the liability for an end user or a client who may purchase a guitar or a piece of work from an artist where some material may be in that was illegally harvested at some point. There's no real way to tell this without having a chain of custody. But it's very important that people who own guitars, end users of these, have no criminal malfeasance if they own an instrument, and this will manifest itself perhaps when crossing the border and coming back into the U.S. with a guitar. Could be a major problem without Lacey paperwork. It's very, very serious, and it's very important that people advocate for this now. What we're asking for is for Senate and congressional co-sponsorship for the Cooper-Blackburn Amendment, or the Relief Act. But I'm asking you, as a guitar player and a consumer and a fan of Guitar Planet, and just a fan of the guitar in general, to help uphold this incredible tradition. As I said before, standing in the Smithsonian 2 weeks ago, where I stood 12 years ago, looking at my own work, exhibiting there, I stood there with a moment of bittersweet recognition 2 weeks ago, looking at the Stradivarius violins, the Jacob Stainer violins, the incredible instruments in their collection, and realizing that with 7 billion people on the planet, it's very important that we find ways of not deforesting and damaging our ecology. Once again, we support the environmental thrust of Lacey in 2008. This bill will enable more and more people who are part of our general family of craftsmen and guitar makers to actually comply with this bill. And so I ask you to take a serious look at it. You can go to nam.org, or you can go to Congressman Cooper's office, his website, and take a look at the Relief Act. Please get behind this. It helps to protect the legacy of instrument making from the 1600s to the great future that we still have in our planet to build these great instruments. So thank you for attention today. And next time you see me, it'll be in the context of Guitar Planet doing what we do every day. Thanks a bunch.